It was Christmas Eve in Fayetteville, West Virginia. The Sodder family, George, Jennie, and their 10 children, were preparing for the holiday. Their home was filled with laughter, but beneath the joy, unease lingered. George, an outspoken Italian immigrant, had made enemies with his strong opinions. Tensions simmered. A stranger threatened George after a refused insurance sale, warning his house would go up in smoke. Another man was seen watching the Sodder children. These weren't just coincidences. They were warnings. As Christmas approached, the family tried to ignore the fear, but it clung to them like a shadow. The house, usually a place of warmth, felt different this year. The older children were home, the house was full, but the threats cast a dark cloud over their celebration. No one could have imagined the horror that would strike that night. The Sodders were about to become the center of a mystery that would haunt them and the world for decades. It all began with a fire on a cold Christmas night, and 5 children would vanish without a trace. On Christmas Eve, the older Sodder kids begged to stay up late playing with new toys. George and Jennie went to bed with their youngest, Sylvia, while the house settled into quiet. Around midnight, Jennie answered a wrong number call. Laughter and clinking glasses echoed in the background. She noticed the lights were on and the door unlocked, but thought little of it. An hour later, a loud bang hit the roof, followed by a rolling noise. Jennie tried to sleep, but soon awoke to smoke filling the house. The office was on fire. George, Jennie, and 4 children escaped, but 5 were trapped upstairs, blocked by flames. George rushed for his ladder, but it was missing. He tried to use his trucks to reach the windows, but neither would start. The family could only watch as the fire consumed their home. The nightmare had begun. 5 children were lost inside, and the Sodders' world was changed forever. As the house burned, the Sodders' desperation grew. The phone line was dead cut by someone before the fire. Neighbors tried to call for help, but the fire department didn't arrive until morning. By then, the house was ash. The family braced for the worst, expecting to find remains. But as firefighters sifted through the rubble, they found nothing. No bones, no bodies. The fire chief claimed the blaze was hot enough to cremate the children, but Jennie knew better. Even in the hottest fires, bones remained. The missing ladder, dead trucks, and cut phone line pointed to something more sinister. The Sodders began to wonder, had their children been taken? Was this a kidnapping, not a tragedy? The evidence didn't add up. The mystery deepened, and hope, however faint, refused to die. Authorities declared the children dead, but George and Jennie refused to accept it. They launched their own investigation, desperate for answers. Witnesses came forward. A bus driver saw people throwing balls of fire at the house. A woman claimed she saw the missing children in a car driving away during the fire. The Sodders hired private investigator C.C. Tinsley, who uncovered a bizarre lie. The fire chief had buried a heart in the ashes, which turned out to be beef liver. Why the deception? The family put up a billboard with the children's faces, offering a reward for information. It became a haunting landmark, a symbol of their relentless search. Every lead was followed, every rumor chased, but nothing brought the children home. The Sodders' lives became a quest for truth. The pain of not knowing never faded. The case grew colder, but the family's hope burned on. The world watched, transfixed by the mystery, and the Sodders never gave up. Over 20 years later, a letter arrived for Jennie Sodder. Inside was a photo of a young man. He looked just like their missing son, Louis. On the back, a cryptic message, Louis Sodder, I love brother Frankie, ill boys, a 90,132 or 35. The family hired another detective, but he vanished, taking their money and leaving more questions. Theories swirled. Was it the mafia, angered by George's anti-Mussolini views? Was it a planned abduction? The strange phone call, the threats, the missing ladder, all pointed to a plot. The truth was buried deeper than the ashes of their home. The Sodders never rebuilt, turning the site into a memorial garden. Their billboard stood for decades, a silent plea for answers. George and Jennie died without ever knowing what happened to their children. The case remains one of America's greatest unsolved mysteries. The Sodder story haunts us still, a ghost story where the ghosts are the living, forever searching, and the question lingers, what really happened on that Christmas night?